Welcome to another episode of Afrikanzchat. Today we're going to talk about history and slavery. And again, guys, if you're new to the channel, can you kindly press the subscription button and also the notification icon to be notified anytime we go on live or maybe post a content. I have here with me again Ilir.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for, coming again.
No problem.
I want to talk about again today. The topic of discussion is going to be slavery, and I want you to give me a little bit history. So I just want to know, where do you want to start with the history about slavery?
Well, first of all, thank you for calling me to be here.
You're welcome.
It's a privilege to be here at your place. So thank you very much as well. And whatever you think is necessary, we move from there. What would you like to talk?
I'm African.
Sure.
You're from Europe, right?
Right.
So I just want to start the basis of your understanding about slavery, history about slavery in general. Then we could talk about the parts of it, where it started, and also how it ended. So I just want to know. I do have an understanding that a lot of people say slavery started way back. The Roman, way back, right? The Arabians, were slave masters. The Europeans were slave masters. Even some Africans, as I heard, were slave masters. So I just want to understand. From your knowledge about slavery, where did it start?
Well, to be honest with you, it went very, very far. It's like Roman Empire, right? Mm-hmm. Even further than that, it went all the way to Egypt. Far as Egypt and Mediterranean at that time was Assyrians, aka Syria, Levant area, right? Mm-hmm. So slavery was used very heavily because every time they conquer a town or a city or a village, whatever, majority of the men will be killed, and majority of the women will be captured. But during in wartime, man to man, those guys who were not killed, they were used as products, as property to fix the countryside, whatever, from roads to buildings to water to whatever necessary. This is BC. This is before let's say BC beside Christ. Yeah. So this is even further. So it depends on the country and the mentality of the people. What of the slaves needs to be used in all countries. This is not even during the Egyptian time. Later on, through the Egyptian time area, this was the same thing, mentality. Slaves were products of the people. You are property of a person. You cannot be free until death, or unless they make you free. They give you the freedom to talk, whatever, right? And during the Roman Empire, if you wanted to be free slave, you have to show a point how you be free. Because in their mind, you're not free. Sometimes they'll give you a label on your neck, like a cow, which you put a symbol to know that you are my property, and that will be for your life. That'll be till you die. But if you wanted to be free, they will give you like a little statue or a little symbol that shows you freedom, right? It's like a paperwork, right? Like modern days. But if that get lost or something happens, remember this: your sign is still there. That they still think you're a slave. Mm-hmm. Still think you're a slave. And it goes on to the Africans as well. Like from Maghreb for the north, and it goes to West Africa. Slavery was a different mentality as well, because everybody needed men to do their chores, basically. It's not because they were not men, but the easy work, right? If you want to have like modern day labor, right? You reduce the price of finance to pay people. Example, if it's like $20 an hour, you say, "Oh, you immigrant? Oh, you pay $20 a day now." What the hell? It's a different version of slavery. It's just overworked, overwhelmed. Every country and every society in that time had a different version of it and how you dealt with people. So it depends on those situations as well. Okay. And slavery was not just used for go clean my toilets and shut your mouth. They were also used in the field of war. They were sometimes even put in the front lines just to see what is the outcome of those guys as soldiers against yours. But not yours, but theirs. Slaves. They send them in the front lines so they'll see if their weapons are they working or not. So if the slaves die, who cares? Send the other guys. It's not just house chores or, it's more than that.
Okay. So from your side of the world, right?
East Europe.
East Europe?
Right.
Did your people, or maybe the people in that side, ever experience, slavery?
In medieval times, Yeah, of course, no, 100%. And we're talking about Roman Empire time, not division of Rome, this one Rome, right? Yes, of course, of course. We had no choice. We had no choice. Sometimes when in medieval times, when they enter towns or villages, they're burning down the ground just because the population they don't like, or it's overwhelming in their eyes. They cannot control it, or maybe they have done something wrong to the kingdom of the other country. So as a tribute, everybody dies, and whoever's left, they will take for slavery or work in the mountains or cut trees. That's how things goes.
Interesting.
Yeah, especially Roman Empire. Even in Roman Empire, to be honest, they had a lot of Albanians who were generals and very far ahead leaders, even near to the Caesars. Caesar, it means king. That's why some people, Hispanics, their name Caesar. In reality, they don't know that means king. Like saying like people from India or Pakistan or what's it called, Bangladesh, right? They're called Kong. Kong literally means another Caesar version.
Caesar.
Yeah, but when you say in Europe, they say, oh, it's Caesar, right? It's talking about a king. That's his name was, Julius Caesar. But they use Caesar as a king version, right? They when they went to Africa, the Roman Empire never had black soldiers. They never had black soldiers. Only one in one place they only had. It was Ethiopia. What is it called? Abyssinia. That time was called Abyssinia. They only had on certain cities because there were soldiers were archery, archery with arrows, right?
Yeah, arrows.
And they were very good. They only were used to defend the fortress of the castle. That's about it. Not go with them, not fight with them. Only stay there and be quiet, because this is how it was. I never understood that, but racism plays a lot of parts. Like you said, last video before, we all do something in racism. We all have that feeling we're racist something. This is a full out shown that this is the real, because because that time black people was not looked more than people just pick up garbage in their eyes. So they cannot put them in the army. I'm talking about the Roman Empire, not now, because it was embarrassment. It was embarrassment. Even the people who served in Rome, even us Albanians, it was that called Illyria. That's what my name comes, Ilir. Illyria was under the Roman Empire. Greece, Macedonia. Well, yes, white people are slaves too. That is nonsense. If you don't believe that, no problem. I'll show you. Because here in the United States, when they brought slavery from West Africa, majority was West Africa. I'm telling you the truth. Majority of the Africans who came here in the United States were from West Africa. Majority were Muslims. About 80% were Muslims. Majority. Their names are Abdullah, Abdul Rahman. Not better names than mine. And they were slaves. They had to become Mo, Tom, and Harry, Larry. And change their tongue, You maybe seen that movie with some white guys hitting a black guy. What's your name? He says in Africa, my name. He's like, no, your name is Toby. What's your name? He says, no, my name is Toby. Until he says his name is Toby. Even though that's not his name. See, logically, oppression comes logically, physically, and financially. You know what I mean? They will try anything to remove whatever. But alhamdulillah, as Muslims, religiously, they cannot overcome. It's the deen of Allah. Allahu nuru samawati wal ard. Allah is the light of the heavens and earth. His way, his deen, his way of life will never be overcome. You know what I mean? You can kill me as an Albanian. You can kill him, or most likely. But the religion of Islam, you can never stop. It will dominate the world. Yes, even Albania too. You already did. Do you see one right in front of you? Yes, I'm Muslim. Allahu Akbar. Sorry about that. I jumped a little bit too far.
No, it's fine. I just also, let's just take it a little bit back. Let's just say 4 centuries ago.
Sure.
From where I'm from, like you said, out of slavery, like you said, even white people were also slaves.
Yeah, of course.
But based on history, Africans were the ones that have, been actually, been used, more like, Africans were actually treated shitty, like, way. I don't know about the history on your side, but I'm just trying to understand my side, right? I know a little bit, but I do know that you have like a lot of knowledge about it. But I just want you to give me. It might be a little bit like concerning to certain people listening to this,
I
but
know,
I still
it's
want to
gonna be
understand.
touchy. It's gonna be touchy, but you have to
Yeah.
come reality. People don't live in reality, like I told you last week. They like to live in this fashion and world,
Yeah.
what they just think of it. Shh, be quiet. No, it's reality. I wanted to be a school teacher. I had to. They got me 2 years of scholarship. Alhamdulillah, for real. The reason I stopped it most likely was I talked to other school teachers, right, regarding the certain matters of books we can read, and I said, he said, there's a movement out here right now in the United States which you cannot speak about a certain topic. I was like, why? He said, because it's not very, it's like threatened. You cannot hear that. It's like, that's wrong. So you have to. It's like, what? It's like black people and slavery. So what's wrong with that? This is history. You have to know.
Yeah.
So no, you can't. You can read it yourself, but you cannot teach it in public schools. There are certain conditions what you can read and what you can teach. I was shocked. I'm not joking. This is really happened. This is not a joke. This is my own personal with the other school teachers, even principals. I talk the same ones. I can't say who it is. I'm not making this up. I'm being honest to you. I never understood that because they don't want to be explained what actually happened. They sugarcoat. How the black people came? Some white guy came in West Africa, took some slaves. Now Mayflower, they came back, and now they have freedom. Malcolm X, what's his name? Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, right? And then Malcolm X was the Muslim one. Martin Luther King was a Christian. They had freedom. They fought, and now Black Lives Matter. Since when? What the hell? That's all they want you to know. But everything else, they'll hide it. You know, don't say anything because it's too touchy. Yeah, it's too touchy. Sorry, what were you saying?
Like you're actually on code, so I'm just trying to understand.
Why did they came to Africa? Basically, the white people, or before BC or medieval times, it's different.
No, like 4 centuries ago. So when Spain, Portugal, all those European countries playing chess with Africa, at that point,
economy, because when you know something has value there, you will do anything to go. Even you have to sacrifice your life. But you're not going to sacrifice my life. You're going to sacrifice your life. I have to brainwash you to fight your race so I can overcome you with words, right? Or disease. If I send disease to a certain place, not me, going back to Spain, if they send disease, again, we're going literally like 1600s times. If at that time medicine was lacking in certain countries, in certain parts, if you have headaches in certain place, God knows best, you probably would have died, because it's too heavy. You don't know what to do with it. And your medicine is not really good compared to certain countries. If you want to go get that place, right, especially West Africa, they have resources such as gold, diamonds, 100%, most likely, One of my teachers told me a long time, a historian, right? He said, if you ever want to conquer a country, right, and you want to have forever goodness, right? I said, maybe it's Arab countries. He said, that's wrong. That's what he did, honestly. I said, what? He said, go to West Africa. I said, why? The hell are you going to do with West Africa? There's no oil. He said, who cares? Oil is nonsense. I could burn the oil. Your car goes with oil $40, maybe 1 week, and it's gone. But diamonds will last forever. Allahu Akbar. I didn't think about that. I said, then why wouldn't they go West Africa? Because West Africa is cheap. We buy them. They give us for free. We give them food and resources, and they fight each other. And that's all we need. You know what I mean? Once we have them in our pockets, they be quiet. I did not know that. I said, why would you want to do that? He said, it's called brainwashing. Wow. Brainwashing is very good. I said, how would you brainwash the people when the people, he said, get rid of the people who are smart and put the ones who are radicalized in the head and who just lives on their desires. Show some white girl shaking their behind in their face because they don't see white girls. Like we don't see black people in Europe, you know what I mean? Show their desire, show how cute they could speak, manipulate with the man, you're cute, you're this, you're that. And slowly, their desires will fall, and they'll come to us with the suits and ties. Listen, we want to make your country great. Condition is this and that. If you want, good. If you don't, no, here, half of my wealth. Just defend me. There you go. And slowly, they conquer you mentally, not physically. Because Africa is a strong place, trust me. The Africans, the West Side Africans, are more stronger than the East Africans because I know personally. I train a lot of fighters, right? Especially wrestling, one of my favorite ones. So I do wrestling, right? West African men are more strong physically, guys, Allah Mubarak. Nigerians are massive strong. Just if they hit the wall, boom, it shakes. Take all the respect. I'm not putting down Eastern African, but this is what I experienced. I could be wrong. Who knows? If you hit the same thing in the East Africa, it collapsed much easier than the West Africa. You can see a lot of problems, unfortunately, it happens, and poverty and lack of resource is East Africa. Because West Africa is rich. You know what the strongest, richest country in Africa? Nigeria. It has a lot of diamonds. So much diamonds that your house and apartments could be filled in seconds. But they don't know how to use it because they got brainwashed. Brainwashed from what? From since you started to stop you all the way from the Portuguese and the Spaniards. What the hell? But lack of resource, lack of armor, lack of weapons. If you're gonna fight with freaking arrows and knives and throw bayonets against me, I have freaking gunpowder and artillery against you. How are you gonna be possible to overcome me when I buy some of your people to fight your people, and then your people who are fighting each other, they're already brainwashed, thinking I'm gonna come and support you. That's not gonna happen. You're gonna be my slave at the end, you know. But they're brainwashed because they get rid of the people in Africa who are intelligent. They destroy them mentally, physically. They arrest them. They put radicalized people there who have no clue of nothing, only live on desires, because now they wear suit and tie like the Western Europeans, and now they feel comfortable. What the hell? Your name from Africa now became Mike. From Africa became Larry. It became Sean. I became Ashley. What the hell? I never heard a black girl, all due respect. I was going back to Europe, right? Patricia. Allah, I never forget that. A French girl, when she's talking Patricia, French, right? Black girl. It's fine. That's not a problem. But I said, whoa, you came from West Africa and your name is Patricia. This is so Western European name, aka French. Patricia is a French lady. I got insulted by her name. But you're a beautiful African. You have to have an amazing African name. Now your name is Patricia. Nothing wrong with that. Please don't go crazy.
No, I want to also quickly ask you this, right? Are you trying to say, because I see it, right? I see it a lot of times. Are you trying to say Africans are supposed to embrace their own names?
Yeah, exactly. Why won't you? It's insane.
Even if they were given names from childbirth, like, growing up, let's just say if they call me Patrick, but I'm African.
Okay.
Do you think, like, Africans are supposed to trace
That's
their
not an
roots to be
African
able to
name.
find
That's
their name?
that's an Eastern European name, Patrick. That's not African name. You never heard Patrick in Africa. Let's just be real. Before the came of Europeans, you never heard people. Maybe Allah Alam, I cannot jump, because they're Christians named Patrick or Patricos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a Greek name, Patricos, as far as I know, And then they spread it, they spread their understanding to West Africa and East. I'm mostly talking about West Africa, you know what I mean? Because East Africa is different, you know what I mean? And of course, but without doubt, you know what I mean? Once you change your names, once you change your traditionals, I don't know if you're African or you're, example, modern days, about 2024 here in the United States, when the black people here say we're African Americans. I don't believe you're African. No, you're just an American who's black. What's wrong with that? But they feel like a little bit insulted when you say you're black American. Why? What the hell's wrong with you? I am from Africa. Can you speak in the language African? No. Do you know where you come from? No. How are you African American? Doesn't make sense. But if they feel comfortable with African American name, that's not a problem. What might it stop you? But for me, you're not African. Yes, your roots are back to Africa. Can you show me where Africa? Can you any men of your tradition African? Your women in tradition African? I can make tradition African food. Yeah, because you watch YouTube. You know what I mean? Don't look African. What's the problem? What's the problem? You be called American black. What is the problem? Forget black. What's wrong with you? Just call yourself American. And what's wrong? I don't understand.
Yeah, are you talking about, like, the
right
branding? Now. Like, how do you call, like, we give, try to identify people? Like, let's just say, so right now, right, I could fool my fellow. I don't like using the word black, to be honest.
Sure.
I like using, if I don't go by, your nationality, let's just say African American or whatever, I go off of, like, brown, because, I feel like we're brown people, different shades of brown, right? But when I meet my fellow brown, brother who was actually born here, he has his roots here. Though, like, like he was born here, generation, probably 3-4 generation back, right? We trying to, like, don't know how to, like, identify each other. I call all of us Africans because basically that's our roots. But, the branding, so amongst us, let me just say blacks for it to make sense. So, I could be black, you could be black, but let's just say you're black American. So that's how we differentiate each other. So even among Africans, if you're trying to differentiate, my fellow, black American, but I'm trying to once you say that, people do understand that you're referring to the ones that are actually from here, right?
Yeah, right.
They have their ancestors or whatever from here, compared to the ones that migrated, or maybe they have their origins from Africa. And it's a problem amongst us. So I don't know how you see it, but I think we're supposed to box everything in to be able to say you're African, or maybe American, that you just said, you're American. It makes sense.
Yeah, but once your traditions are gone, you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't know who you are. See, I am from Kosovo, right? I have a son, alhamdulillah. If when me and my wife died, eventually we're all gonna die, right? Mm-hmm. He's gonna be raised up. Example, he marries a white American girl here. Irish descent, like they say descent. English descent, German mix, whatever, right? Muslim, alhamdulillah. Hypothetically speaking, in the future, slowly speaks Albanian, but she speaks English. Speaks Albanian, slowly he forgets a little bit, right? His generation dies. New generation comes up with him, and he says, only English. Whatever color he's going to marry, you know what I mean? He'll be like, well, my father and my grandmother, basically, great-grandfather and then a grandmother, right? They were all from Kosovo. They're Albanians. But I don't know Albanian. I just speak English. And slowly it disappears. Now it's being considered American white. No more Albanian. It's all gone. You know what I mean? It's gone. Because the traditional thing is lost. It's lost. You came to a new world, like they say, a new society. Now, everything that you were before, it's gone. You don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. That's why I say the African American here, all the respect, strong mentally, physical people, but you're not literally African no more. It's gone. That mentality is gone. It's just by words. Just words. That's it. I say I'm the finest boxer in the world. No one could. But it's just words. Do I really know how to box? The answer is most likely not. I don't know. But I can just say it. But doesn't mean it's reality. What language do you speak? Do you speak another language? Do you speak another language? You?
Yeah.
Okay, then you're definitely African.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm African.
I'm just saying.
Identify myself
You marry,
like that.
example, here in America, whatever color, right? Alhamdulillah, and she's Muslim. Okay, mashallah. Let's say you marry a white girl, right? Muslim. Okay. Speak English. And then suddenly you have a child. That child speaks a little bit whatever you taught him. Maybe a very, very minimum. Slowly, he doesn't know. He said, my father was from Africa. My mother's white. I don't know what the hell I am. Slowly he gets married. Forget everything. You don't even know who it is. And now you're trying to bring roots back in the past, who you were. But that's too late. You don't know who you were because you lost who you were, who you are, So that's the same thing in slavery. When people came to slaves, sorry if it's so long, when they brought people from Africa, slowly, like I said, your name, he was saying, it's a movie, it's a stupid movie, right? He said, what's your name? He speak this language. My name is blah, blah. I said, your name is Toby. What's your name? He said, my name is whatever African. He said, your name is Toby. And then when he got extremely bruised to the level of too much bleed, he said, my name is Toby now. What happened? Because the tongue of yours lost. And you don't know who you are, Don't know. The Muslims here, when they came slaves, they used to pray in the boat when they were coming. They didn't understand people. What they guys these all pray together. They ate together. They kept Islam. But slowly, they forced them not to be Muslim anymore. They used to fast Ramadan. They used to pray in that, like communists. They come to this house, this apartment, they used to pray, learn Quran. Slowly, Even one of the highest, mashallah, scholars named Abdul Rahman, I think it was from West Africa, most likely, And he wrote the Quran in Arabic here and English. And he gave it to Thomas, one of the presidents here. He actually wrote some of it from the Quran itself here. He was African. But he didn't forget who he is. But later on, people will change you because the culture changes you by force, by demand. You don't want to, but slowly, out of desperately, from Muhammad you became Mo. From Abdullah you became James now. From whatever to you became something else. You don't know who you are. Slavery mentally and physically tires you. Because that's why I say, what am I a slave? When the people work, what am I, a slave? You don't want to wish to be a slave. Trust me. Slaves don't even have a right even to talk. Forget about to eat with you, you know? Especially in East Europe, slavery was only practiced in the Roman Empire time and then followed by a little bit on the Ottomans. And that's about it. Not so much in East Europe. But West Europe, it was practiced heavily, extremely heavily. Especially in France, especially in, what's it called, Austria, England, Spain, Portugal. These guys heavily import slaves. Extremely a lot, you know? I don't know so much in Russia and Ukraine. It was not so much known. Like I said, the Eastern one were different. The West ones, these guys were like hardcore to the end, to the teeth. They didn't give a damn. You know, I mean, like I said, they'll brand you like a cow in your neck or any kind of parts that you be able to see that you belong to this, this side of the city or side of the town. Even by label, everything. You can't do nothing, you know? Mm-hmm. They used to use example when a very strong muscular slave came, right? Very powerful man, much stronger than me, body built naturally. Like I said, West Africans are all body, especially, and that they want to procreate with women. You know, they used one guy to have sex with every single black girl, because they're black too, to procreate men like him, like children like him, because they knew his body size will come hate from these people. Yeah, of course he does gonna do zina. He has no choice. I remember this guy, I was reading this African guy from, I think, most likely from West Africa. He have like, until now, I think like 400 children. All his grandchildren from him. He had no choice. He said, oh, he has sex with every girl, literally, non-stop, every single day, with multiple women, every single day. I think he had 200 ladies he had to have sex every single, I don't know how long, and every single time. This is real. It's United States. This is real. Here, yes, here. He had to have sex because his body size was massive, strong. His body is ripped naturally. You know what I mean? Strong, powerful man. Mm-hmm. They used him to. It's like a bird. It's like a animal. Have sex every single day. He was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Daily, every day. Maybe like 5 to 7 women every day, nonstop. And he had to have children. If there's no children, you'll be punished. Oh, this is insane. What if the woman can't be punished? They'll kill you. That means the woman was the problem. I have researched his history. He had, I think, near to like I said, I think like 400 children or near till now. It's insane. If you go language, it goes all back to him. It's insane. It's reality. It's not joke. It's no joke at all. All guys like to have women, yeah, but daily to have like 10 to 15 a day. And if you're going to perform ejaculated, you'll be punished for this. It's insane. How much pressure for this? He even said himself, I loved it, first of all, but then I was terrified. If there's no sperm coming out, I was extremely stressed because the punishment will be whipped. I mean, why didn't you not ejaculate inside? There's no ejaculation. That's too much. 15 women a day almost. That's a lot of pressure. Every single hour.
That was almost like,
it's insane.
Human animal, right?
It is, yes.
Trying to like, breed.
Breed, yes, a new breed, because the guy was massive, large, strong, size. And when children came, he became strong. They used for fields. That's it. There were only breeds for the fields. That's it, no more. And then he found his wife, finally got married, got free. And then he told the story what happened. He says, that's the breed, an animal. If no ejaculation came out, they will stand and see that the ejaculation came. If there's nothing there, you'll be punished. You know what I mean?
So this is why, this topic is very touchy.
Sure.
Because it got to a point not only where, slaves were killed and
before, sorry to stop you. When they were bringing from West Africa, because I like West Africa a lot, one day, God willing, if I'm ever there in Nigeria, I just like it a lot, I'm so, attractive to that part of the world, especially West Africa mostly. Mm-hmm. When they were bringing slaves from Africa to the United States, right, if the boat wasn't going quick enough, right, if there were sickness people in there, they didn't kill you. They'll throw you out in the water, suffocating to death until you die. Disease happens in a boat, and literally they were butt naked almost. They were literally whatever they took them. Food was literally minimized to full of a hands. That's it. That's what you can eat. Defecate, ejaculate, pee, bleed. That same area. No, you're not gonna go nowhere else.
All women and men are in the same.
That's it. That's all chained like a dog. All chained like an animal. Herd, neck to neck. hands in hands. If, God forbid, you were sick or had it, even pregnancy, if they cannot help you, they throw you from the boat to the water. In the middle of day, night, they didn't care because they don't know how to handle you. A lot of them got thrown into, once, Allah understand, I heard like 200 to 220 to 250 in one boat. Half of the boat, they threw everybody away in the water because the ship was not going fast enough. So they're like, guess what? Throw half of them away. But I said, we're going to lose so much money. Who cares? They're animals. We'll come back again. They you know, like the boat, like they have like an anchor. They grab the anchor, and everybody with the anchor, it's like literally like a chain.
They attach them to the anchor.
Yeah, the anchor, and they're chained already. They can't throw everybody one by one because they're gonna go crazy. So they throw the anchor with the people. So they throw the anchor, everybody down. It's like literally like spaghetti when you go. That's it. 250, 220 of them dead. I think that some of the boats are literally, it's like a freaking airplane, like Boeing's, you know, those ones, massive ones that can hold 500 people. Some of those ships hold 500 people. So maybe 250 of them, half of them go into the water. But then those people got, those slave owners got pissed because that's a lot of money wasted. But same time, they said the boat doesn't go quick, so we have to stop certain parts of the world so we can sell them to go back again. You know what I mean? Yeah, they didn't give a rat's ass. How many children, pregnancy, who cares? As long as the boat moves. This is reality spoken. You know? That's what West Africa, West Africa is known for slavery. I have a lot of people from Nigeria, especially certain parts. They told me around her city, there are symbols of like statues of people like crying, slavery being brought, you know, by force, you know, into the boats. Real. There's no joke.
It got to a point, I think, you know, some of our brothers here complained that even, you know, the people in Africa also sold slaves. And there's a story on that side. I don't know if you know, but I know a little bit. But do you know?
Yeah, I know. I
know.
They had to slay slaves because the market was high. The price was high. The Africans had to sell Africans because they want to be known as warlords. You know what warlord is?
Yeah.
A person who is another gangster, you want to put it this way. Warlords. Because they had to sell them. Because, like I said, when the Europeans came, West Europeans, the Africans lack of a lot of resources, such as weapons. And these guys had to make money to fight other tribal people. So how they can do it, they sell their own people for guns and gunpowder and cannons and balls of cannons, so they can open villages much quicker.
So are you saying, like, because there's excuse me, there's another narrative whereby they say they sell captives in a war, prisoners of war.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're that is there, but I also want to know, like, they were
villages.
villages.
They go to village just to take people randomly. Doesn't matter. They'll take you.
No, I get that part. I'm just saying the Africans that were selling.
Yeah, Africans.
Were they selling their own people, whereby the ones that are not captives?
Yes, their own people, for not captives. Yes.
That are not captives.
Not a captives, no, their own people. Sometimes the
So
own
like an
village
uncle
people,
could- yeah,
only
the village
villager
people.
people, their own villagers or townmates, they'll sell them. I don't like them. Let's sell them. Where he goes, we don't know what happened. A lion ate him or a bear. There's no damn bears. Yeah, their own people, their own literally people. Because they had to make a profit, right? I mean, when you're poor, man, literally, you'll do a lot of stuff when you have no iman. You have no iman. If you're not Muslim, iman means faith. You know, when you have no faith in your society or people around you, you'll do anything. You know. So what is the easiest thing to do is sell people. So sell them. It's like the people who sell organs nowadays. Cut the organ of the person, sell his own organs. If the person can sell his own organ, why the hell would not sell his own townmates? Just for the profit. Yep.
So that is like, sometimes that's the, like, the issue that we, or the stumbling block that we usually get to when, Africans and, the Americans here, when we have our brothers, our sisters, when we have conversations, some of them hold that almost like holding that animosity towards, the Africans, not like the ones here, but like, the ones that did that back in the day.
Right.
They feel some type of way, like, why were they selling? But I think
Because
their
of
mindset
property.
was kind of different
Money.
back then.
Money. money, resource. They didn't have. I told you, people lack a lot of resource, especially water.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? We have no water. What are you gonna do when you're so poor? You know, because the modern days don't understand because they don't teach you in history these kind of stuff. Like I told you, I got scholarship for 2 years. I didn't want to. I wanted to go. They told me you cannot speak these kind of issues in colleges or in high schools. You're gonna have to beat around the bush just not to say these guys. I said, what kind of history is that? That's nonsense. You know what I mean? So I avoided it. I didn't want to go. You're gonna lie. You're gonna lie. How long the lie gonna last? You're gonna even get fired from school. You study for 4-6 years in college, university to become a historian teacher, right? That's great, but you can't speak at certain things. I met this guy. He was not Muslim. He came to the restaurant, where we go, and he said, "I like you, guy. You're a good historian. We talked to him really heavy, but he said you come to our college in University of Chicago here, but you cannot speak like this." He said, "Black. He's Black American." So I said, "Why? Why can't I?" He said, "Because the people don't like to hear this kind of stuff." I said, "This is real. What happened?" He said, "It might be real. It is real. Not might be, but it is real. But you cannot openly say it. There's policies."
So quickly, right? Just like how we're saying Caucasians.
Sure.
So how we supposed to refer them though? So Caucasian, it gets to a point. I know it's a saying. You see, it's kind of like crazy.
Why?
Where we're supposed to call them Europeans, right?
Basically.
Yeah. Just like how I'm gonna call my brown brothers and sisters here Africans, because when I see them, when we understand each other, we see each other. Like I know you're because we share the same skin color,
Sure,
right?
sure, yeah.
So if they're out here trying to suppress. Because I used to have, a history teacher, right? Whereby I could equally see, like he was teaching us a little bit about, African American history or Black history, as they say.
They call it Black history.
Yeah, they call it Black because usually when you go, I would say, chances are you're gonna find a brown person over there teaching that subject, unless maybe if like the person's an immigrant, right?
Right.
But most of them are uncomfortable, saying that. But I wanted to understand it more because I have a different mindset about what happened. But yet again, when you look at how they laid everything out, now they're trying to suppress it. Like you said, U of I, they wouldn't want to talk about it, right?
No.
They want you to dance around it.
That's why I told you. That's why I backed up for 2 years scholarship. I'm not joking with you. I'm not joking. This was, I think it was before COVID even came. I got 2 years scholarship. They told me you cannot speak. Example, these books right here, you can read them, but don't show it. I said, what's the purpose of them being here? For you just to learn. But I said, how can I speak? I said, make your own YouTube channel after. But they're going to kick you out of school. You're not going to be no more teaching. I said, this is insane. What's the purpose of this? It's not, the purpose is history. I said, that's what you have to learn. You have to teach. If you can, no, I'm not joking. This is reality. I'm not making things up. I know even the school where it is, they told me, you cannot do that. I said, this is nonsense. I don't want to be a school teacher. After that, guess what happens? All my desires just went down. I said, do you guys at least have wrestling? It's like, no. I said, what the fuck? And I leave. I use wrestling as an excuse just to leave.
And just to leave, yeah.
But in reality, I didn't want to leave. Yeah, of course I do wrestling. Of course I teach a lot of people. That's 100%. But there, I just want to be a school teacher. I mean, that's want to be a history teacher. That's all I desired. But since they told me that, I just backed off. It's the worst feeling. They say, trust me, I got everything was ready. I said, congratulations, you accepted. But when a guy said, if you talk like this, you cannot stay here.
It's just almost like how we are censored.
It's censored.
Okay, right now, right? Imagine everybody's sensitive. Like there are certain things you can't even be honest to people because it's going to trigger something. Example, even on TikTok, sometimes there are certain things that you can't literally say, which I understand you're supposed to care about how people, what you're saying, you have to think about it. But yet again, if it's related to facts, you can't edit it. You can't play around it. You're supposed to give people the raw aspect of whatever that which is a fact, right?
Yeah, I get you. But here in the United States, when they said, when you talked about Black Lives Matter, their lives never mattered. It never did. It's just nonsense lie. The only lives that matter for them here is if you're rich and if you're white. That's here. That's even for us, Eastern Caucasian. I'm white too. Let's be real. Let's not be fake. Our lives don't matter in the United States. Not Albanians, not Serbians, not Greeks, being honest. Not Slovenians, not Croatians, not Bosnians. We look like you. But since we're from that part of the world, we're literally not poor. So our life will only matter for a certain timing. As soon as they have that fulfilled, your life doesn't matter either, you know? My life doesn't matter at certain times, you know, in their eyes. But for right now, it does. So if it does right now, I say, alhamdulillah, I'm going to use my life matters against you. For this kind of propaganda, I will use the same color with the same color against you, just to speak reality against you. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Just to speak against you. Because sometimes white to white listens, and it's reality. When black person to another black person, they will listen. I was here out in the city, right? I was going to Dunkin' Donuts. It was nighttime. I came from wrestling, teaching people. And all these, you know, African Americans, black people, they were talking about slavery. Oh, shit. It's the worst timing. My color fit in their eyes. It's a white boys like him. I said, I'm from Eastern Europe. I'm Albanian. It's like, it doesn't matter. You look like them. It's really hard to convince people like that. They made us slaves. They made us this. I said, us Eastern Europeans didn't do shit to you. It was the West. I had to clarify, you know, we didn't do nothing to you. Who came to you? Said America. Who came to you? England. Who came to you? Dutch. Who came to you? Spaniards. Did Serbians? Did Albanians? Did Russians come to you? Did Hungarians? Did Greeks come to you? Who came to you? He said, them. I said, am I part of them? He said, no. Okay, then just logic sense. If you can come talk to me, it's just the aim because of the color of the skin. I said, the Western people came, not the East ones. You got the wrong understanding. He said, they brainwashed you thinking everybody from Europe hates the black people. But that's not reality. The black people has been taught things that they've been taught ways that, what's this say? How do you say it? It's kind of harsh. They've been brainwashed. That's it. They've been brainwashed. Sorry to say it like that. I don't know how. Like you said, sensitive, right? They've been brainwashed. You got been brainwashed for a lot of people. You go to schools, universities, you rarely see any black people. You go to the downtown here where we live, right? You barely see black people. You barely see. I'm not saying you don't see them. They go. But you go to certain parts, you see more. I'm being honest with you. You go downtown here, I don't see any people look like you. I really don't. And if I do it, it's going to be nightclubs, Friday nights, or strip clubs. I'm just saying, or whatever kind of club that has any intoxicant or dancing or music, you find them at certain times, Friday and Saturday. And that's about it. Anything else, they don't want to bring more, because if you grow and if you start thinking, you know, if you start rich, he has brains now, you know? And if he has brains, that means he's going to be better than me. Of course he's going to be better than you. Probably they are better than you, but you don't give him the opportunity to be better than you. Because everybody deserves they deserves your rights, bro. If you come to me wrestling, right, and you better me and you're black, no problem. I say, hey, let me sit in the ground, you sit in my chair. I'm nobody. Because I admit my weakness, because you're better than me. But if I use color as black, shoo him away. Sit down, shut the hell up. Who knows, you can bring some cousins around and pistol you down. Why? Because that's all they will think. Black people do pistols. Black people do cocaine, drugs, this. Because that's the only thing you give them to do. There's nothing else you didn't give. If you give them education, this, it's kind of a little bit too late. If I get injured by a knife or a gunshot, and if I don't go to hospital, just keep it like literally I'm going to bleed to death, right? That's what you're giving them. You let them bleed to death the moment. And then after that, somebody breaks a window, this and then, oh, the black people did it. I'm being honest with you. If a black guy walks this way and a white person walks it, the white person logically is going to pretend he's going to talk on the phone, and he's going to walk a little bit this way because he doesn't want him to come, because he thinks somebody's going to shoot him or rob him, or logically like this. I've seen it. I've really, really seen it. It's not a joke. You go downtown and see it, right? Daytime. I'm not talking about night. Daytime, African-American or black guy walks, normal clothes, and he's like moving like this a little bit. I'm not joking with you. A white guy comes. They're like, let's pick up the phone. There's nobody there. I didn't even hear a ringing and a vibration, or Allah knows best. And then, it just looks at the phone like he's pretendingly somebody called him, or he's looking for something. This goes like that. Looks. As soon as I seen it with my own eyes. He just comes back the same street and just walks and just looks at him like that and just goes. very, very judgmental immediately without any proof, evidence at all that that guy is going to do something to you. Maybe that guy, that black guy, is a fucking FBI. In reality, he's there to protect you, but you can't even protect yourself. You have to go look for Dunkin' Donuts. There's nothing there. I see it. There's no Dunkin' Donuts where I was there. The hell is going to be a Wacker Street Dunkin' Donuts? Yeah, there's a Dunkin' Donuts though, but a certain place, you know. But it's kind of funny, judgmental immediately.
Yeah, as you know, even with what you just said right now, people being judgmental, it happens a lot, you know, with, you know, a lot of races whereby you see people, it's almost like that stereotypical mindset that people have about, you know, certain type of, you know, ethnicities and, you know, groups of people. People argue, right? Yeah, I agree. You know, there are certain things where it triggers people's reaction, maybe trauma or whatever. But yet again, like, you know, this skin color, it got to a point I was telling people, I don't know what this skin color has done to people because it affects everybody. People say, you know, when you're from Africa, when you come from Africa, it's kind of easier because whatever, but it's still not easy because sometimes they could easily pick you out because of your name, because they know. Like you said, you know, most of our African, you know, brothers and sisters, be it Africa or here, they use, you know, Western names, some of them, or most of them.
Okay. Right?
So they could, like, you know, call, I might be Patrick, whatever. And it's even kind of difficult finding a job. The other day I was, you know, talking to a friend of mine. She said she has to, like, lie on her resume like she's white before she was able to secure the job that she got. Why do we have to get to that point? So I've got skills, right? And people think it's easy, especially in this day and age, being in the STEM field, it's very competitive. So finding jobs is really, really hard, especially for the skin color, right? So it's, I don't know. It's not like we're not smart. We are. Also, of like, you know, Nigerians, Ghanaians, whatever. We're educated though.
Yeah, definitely.
But finding the job, you need to like network properly.
Because they're scared. Number one, scared is they think you're gonna work and you're gonna quit by yourself, or you're gonna inspire others not to work in their eyes. You know, it's true. It's reality. Trust me.
That's fine.
It's reality. If a black guy comes in the store, right, and a white guy comes, they have the same thing, right? The same education, the same grades, everything. Logically, if he feels the need for a black guy to come because a lot of his customers going to be like him, he's going to hire him. You know what I mean? But if minority of minorities don't come, he's going to hire the white guy, and the black guy is going to be his assistant. You know what I'm saying? Because he needs him there just to say, I don't have an issue with black people. In reality, he does. Nobody's going to say, hey, I don't like you, black. Get the hell away from me. He's not going to say this. Get away from me, weirdo. Why? Because who you are and how you look automatically, you know what I'm saying, is because of the color of the skin, you know. Skin color really matters in certain areas you go. Here in the United States, if you are black and you go to a very rich population, right, and you dress like a very nice, very beautiful, very better than me, probably, most likely, not diamonds, let's just say like normal clothes, like suit and tie, and you go to a really rich side, and only certain black people live there, maybe little, and everybody's mostly white or Caucasian or European. Everybody's gonna say, wow, we have another black guy here. I can't believe it. Maybe who's he gonna call? No, literally. He's probably here for one reason, probably buy a house or something, look rich, and then he's gonna bring some of his cousins and he's gonna wrap this place, bomb, boom, bomb, bomb. I know, literally. But in reality, they're not gonna say it because it's racism, of course. It's a different version of racism. It's a looks only racist, right? But they're gonna say different version. They're gonna brainwash you, and they're gonna say, "Excuse me, man. Oh, this place is. What do you do? You have a job here and there. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, you wanna live here? That's great. But you know, it's so expensive. I'm just making it up. It's so expensive living here. Even we don't want to live here no more. And he's gonna have doubts. They once like was. They put him in doubts, so he's not gonna live there because they don't want to see him live there. And it's not. This is normal. So a lot of places. This is 100% seriously.
Like the redlining.
Yeah, redlining. They're not gonna say redlining. They're gonna use a different version. You know what I mean? That we have enough places. We don't want to put you here. You know, because you look like that. As simple as that. Like the Europeans when they came here, like the Irish, they were second-class citizens, third-class citizens. Italians, Irish were the second-class citizens here. Even they're white, blue eyes. Because of where they came from. Later on, they were adopted because of the reason that the World War One starts, World War One, and they needed some soldiers to fight. So when they came here, as soon as from the boats, they recruited them to the soldiers, became American citizens just like that. You know what I mean?
Because they wanted to use them.
They wanted to use them. You know what I mean? Their family stayed, they go die. Back to Europe again. That's how it goes. You know, it's crazy. This is reality. This is real, real, real. They used to black people here with chains, golden halfway pants, and smoking cigarettes like a backwards hats and singing, "Yo, what's up, my dog?" You know what I mean? That's all they need to see. If they see, if they don't, they as soon as they see your color, they automatically think of you like some rapper. That's it. You have to know how to rap. How is that possible? But they see a white guy, he doesn't know how to rap, doesn't know this crap. He looks modern. Okay, let's go. He's probably a crackhead, a stoner, a drug addict, a pedophile, a rapist, whatever you would think of. But he's white. He passes. That's it. That's nothing more than that. You know, this is they, like I said, when they brought slavery here, they had to change your name first, and they had to brainwash you, thinking that you are worthless. You know what I mean? And they had to put you in a certain area that it's meaningless. You know. And after that, later on, you will change naturally because due to the reason, like I said, when you said back to Africa slavery, right? Would another black person have slaves to another black person? The answer is yes, of course. Same thing here. When they came here, they had to change everything, right? They had to change your name, title, whoever you are, and now you're Thomas. What the hell? Like I said, the first lady, when I was going back to Kosovo, I was doing Austrian Airlines. Patricia, look at that. I'm 32 years old. I don't know how many years was that. I think like 10 or 12 years. That name Patricia hits my head every single time. Because that time I was so much even heavy into West Africa history. When I heard she's from West Africa, her name was Patricia. The only thing I thought about was France. That's it. And she speaks French. Patricia, oh my God. My brain was complete. If I had a 3D memory, if I had my glasses, showed you right here, I'll show you even how she'll look. Look at that. Because the background of that was so impacting to me that how could you name me Patricia? That was like a cuss word stuff, right?
So
This is how it is.
at some point, right?
It hurt my feelings. Why you name Patricia?
Yeah, like I think people have to like be conscious to a certain extent, be aware, be exposed to like let go of these things that you're talking about, the names and stuff like that. I know, like, from where I'm from, I had a friend whereby he changed his name. Even in the dean, you're allowed to change your name.
Sure, no
Yeah,
problem.
so at some point you get to a point you're like you could equally, if you realize that you don't like this name, but Africans have a whole reason to change their names. Not only names, a lot of things. We just have to offload a whole lot that we're carrying. And it's going to start between us here, and I'm going to have like, different section whereby I'm going to have my brown, skin color, brothers and sisters. We're going to have that conversation because a lot of them, including us, are misinformed.
Sure.
About like, as if we don't want them or we don't like them or there's a certain hatred. And I think we need to like close that gap. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
It's almost like divide and conquer, right? So when there's a separation between all of us, be it Americans, African Americans, or, Africans from, the ones that migrated here, it's easy to manipulate and play with us, right? But if we come together or maybe probably understand each other, it's easier for us to like, not only tolerate, but be able to like, do things to get us one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Watch what happened when I was driving in the city. Sorry to stop you like that. I made this crazy illegal turn. Don't arrest me, right? In downtown, right? It was like summertime, like last year or something. And I said, let me see, does it really work? I had to go a certain way. I didn't want to go for, here I had this one way. It's freaking shit. Who goes like 3 blocks to come back this block, I just opened my window and I see cops. Like, I didn't see them. It was they were like, like an eye, like you cannot see. Like, just suddenly a car comes out. You wouldn't expect it there. There was a police, vehicle behind me. I didn't even realize. And I make this crazy turn from here. I have to be here to turn. But I came from here all the way, like, crazy. Right? I turned. Because they turned green to turn, but there's no one there. So let me just blow it. As soon as I turn, this police guy just turned his light. I just did this with my hand. I just put my hand outside. As soon as he saw it, was a white cop, he said, don't do that again. I I said, if I was black or brown, if I did that, would it be the same policy as my color of skin? I said, maybe I'm just fascinated. Social experience with me. I did it the same time again, different version. Seriously, I'm not joking. I opened the door, I just did that. Like, like I want to turn that way. I mean, yeah, some people will go. Who doesn't want to? But the police, it says only an arrow go. They will get you a ticket, logically. Then some of them don't care. I said, let me just open the door, and I just did the same thing. I said, maybe I can get away. Maybe I'm just ill in the head. Maybe I'm sick. Maybe I'm just thinking like over exaggerating. And I just did that again. They just looked at me. They just did this. Just go. Oh, I said, got away again. This is the second time. I thought maybe once, maybe, okay? Different officer, different police, different, what's wrong? Then I talked to some brothers there, right? And I said, I did this and that. He said, because you did this, the color of the skin.
Yeah, the color of your
I
skin.
said, what does it matter? I deserve a ticket. I really deserve a ticket. Not now, it was a long time. I really deserve a ticket. I'm telling the truth. I'm an honest person. I'm telling you, bottom of my heart, right? I deserve a fucking ticket. But I just did a social experiment. That's it, nothing else. I just put my hands out, right? The widest part you can see. As soon as they saw it, white cops, they just did this to me. Let's go. You know what I mean? Can't believe that.
If it was
I'm not joking. I'm not joking to you. I'm just telling you honest truth. Honest truth. Even yesterday, I was driving. Crazy illegal turn. White cop girl just looked at me. And I said, hey, sorry, madam, I did that. That's okay. Behind me was a truck full of black guys. They got stopped. I'm not joking. Guess where? Ringley Field. I'm not joking with you. The same place, the same street, both illegally. Why didn't you not stop me and you stopped them? I worked last night till 3 o'clock. I'm not joking with you. I came home. Thank God I was not so tired. And I mean, I prayed, alhamdulillah. Did my original, whatever I need to do Islamically, alhamdulillah. Wake up my family, time to pray. I said, if I was like them, I probably would get fucking stopped. I'm not joking with you. Yeah. And these guys were not black cops. They were not Hispanic. They were white cops. They were white cops. And in a certain place like that, I did the same thing one more time. Sorry to stop you. A crazy illegal. I'm not exposed by illegal turns here. I'm just telling you because I just wanted to go quick because I have one of my security guards working around that area. I just want to go see if he's well and good. And I mean, that's all because I train him wrestling. And tomorrow I'm going to train him different security guards at wrestling, right? I do wrestling. Don't forget to subscribe, right? I just want to see if he's all right. Went there and I made the same crazy turn. Another cop came. He just did the light. You did a fucking badass turn. I said, that's good. Badass turn, right? No, I said, I'm sorry, cop. I didn't mean to. It's you can get a very, very big ticket. Just go. Yeah, he started yelling. I went directly to him. The guy I trained is African American. Literally, he's black American, African American. I told him what happened. He's a security guard. He said, because you have this. I said, what the hell is this? I deserve a ticket. He said, be quiet. Thank God. And he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It was in traffic like this, like literally traffic. I just went like this, in front of the cop's eyes. Wallahi, I swear to God, right in his eyes. He even did this with the light in his car. He was the sheriff. He was pissed off of only certain area of the clubs. There's a lot of cops. There's a lot of security guards. I train a lot. And this guy doesn't even know me. He doesn't even know who the hell. I just popped my head like this, right? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I was terrified. I worked so hard. I said, I'm going to get my ticket for $80 right there. And I did it in front of his eyes. Probably he's going to double it. It's going to be 160 now. I was crazy stressed. He just waited. Just get the fuck out of here. That's it. Oh, shit. I said.
That's what they call white privilege, right?
That's what they call white privilege. That's why I said, before. You know what I mean? If the white people attack them in that mentality, and not verbally, I'm talking about history, they don't want to expose, I expose it. You know what I mean? That's why they tell me, if you're going to go to school like this, college, we will take you out. They literally told me that. And I said, I don't want to be here. This is nonsense. This doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? If I cannot do what you can to talk the truth, like I said, I even admit it. Would anybody admit his mistakes if he wants to get punished? No, because they'll get away with anything. That's the getaway. I told you I deserve the first ticket on the turn. I deserve the second ticket. I deserve the third ticket on front of the police. I'm telling you the honest truth. Would anybody else admit that? They'll admit that, but they don't want to get the ticket. I'm telling you, I deserve the ticket. Does this sound like a crazy person in the streets? No. It sounds honest. It looks like he's honest. I am honest. I'm telling the honest truth. I deserve the ticket. But they forgive me. And I said, thank God, alhamdulillah. I worked hard.
Wow.
You get the point, right?
Yeah, I do.
A lot of people would never admit it. I admitted it.
Well, to
Yes.
wrap up the show, right? I just want to understand, one last few, statements that you have before in the show. Based on the mindset that you have, or maybe based on the experiments, the experiences.
I had
all
a
of these
lot of
things that you've
experience.
had,
I had
yeah?
a lot.
What kind of black person or a brown person do in the West, and the ones of the Africans too that do come to America? What would you advise?
Study the way of life of Islam first of all. Understand Islam. Islam is submission to Allah Azza wa Jal, right? Alhamdulillah. That's the only salvation for society of the world, white or black. That's the only way. Even if you die upon Tawheed Islam, inshallah, by the will of God, mercy and compassion, you go to paradise. That's the number one thing. Second thought, whoever you live in that area around, white or black or whoever, right? Understand the people where they're coming from. Understand their way of life, tradition. So you can influence them before they influence you. That's how it goes. I come here, to be honest with you, in certain areas of the city. I'm not scared of the people, because if Allah is will me to die, I'm going to die at the end. But I'm a human being. I have precautions as well, because my color of skin literally matters. I'm telling you the honest truth. You know what I mean? Like I told you, with a Dunkin' Donuts place, these black guys, literally white people like him, he was aiming toward me. They did this to us. I said, excuse me, sir, I might be white color. I am Eastern European. I'm also Muslim too. My color doesn't make so much in my eyes a difference when it comes to my belief system. I believe in Islam. I believe in the ones of Allah Azza wa Jal. I'm Muslim. But they didn't care about I'm Muslim or not. They care my color. That's what they judged you. Okay, so color, no problem. I am Eastern European, not Western. The Western made you a dog. The Western people remove your tongues into African to English or French or German. The Easterns, we never did that. Where have you heard in history that all the Africans, black people, came to Eastern Europe and became slaves and dogs and changed their names to Albanians or Serbian or Montenegro and Bosnian? That's just literally almost impossible. But you go to Germany, you go to France, you go to England, you go to the United States, a lot. Huge majority, massive. And then when I said it like that, he calmed down. Why? Because I speak the language of the person he understands. That means I thought as he is about to think. Not because I'm a magician, stuff a lot. Magic is haram and kufr and shirk. It takes you out of fold Islam, right? I was thinking how he will understand me in this way so I could understand. And guess what happened? That guy, he said nasty shit to me, and he took my phone number. He wants to be my wrestling student. That guy. I taught him 2 wrestling moves. He was amazed. He weighed 190 pounds. I weigh 143 right now. I know. He took my number and he said, if you open your place, I'll be first time your student. He said, I apologize for saying these words. I said, no problem. Understand the people before you understand what you're saying. That's because you're judgmental. That's not my fault. It's simple as that. Understand the people you live with, then understand what they're going through. And then when they say United States, Black Lives Matter, yes, your life do matter. Like I said in the video before, your life mattered when you came from your mother's wombs. Your life matters, my life matters. When it comes here in the United States right now, Black Lives Matter, your lives matter a lot, because the white society here, they don't give a rat's ass about you. They really don't. The only reason they cared about you, don't go against my YouTube, was the reason, because you start breaking windows. You start causing a little bit problems to them. And now your lives matter. But before, it doesn't. Somebody had to suffer for your life to matter. It take that long for you to understand that my life mattered. Literally, it took you many years for me to break my glasses to say I can't see. What's wrong with you? Are you mentally ill? It's not mentally ill, as Allah in the heart says, "Khatam Allah Allah has sealed the hearts of the people, right? And the seeing and the hearings that they cannot see. Surah Al-Baqarah, you know. ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. This is this is a ayat of the Quran, you know what I mean? This is about the belief system as well, you know what I mean? But if you want to take it a different version, and Allah knows best, because I'm not a religious scholar. I'm just, I can recite Quran, I could understand a certain part because of the translation. Allah blinds the eyes and the hearts and the hearings. Same thing here in the West, when the heart is blinded, when the eyes cannot see, they hear. It's very hard. It's very hard for you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's very hard. Yeah. It's very hard. What do you want me to tell you? Millions of times you're not gonna understand. It's almost like impossible until Allah opens the heart. You know what I mean?
You'll never understand. And and this is coming from a faith. A lot of people, we're in the West. People do what they want to do, culture, whatever that is, the wave, the trends. Few people care about faith. Christians, Muslims, the faith part, when you it's kind of crazy, when it comes to the West, they don't really, and I respect everybody's faith, regardless, wherever you are. Like as a Muslim, you're supposed to just like how we believe in all the prophets, but people don't really, what I've noticed is they don't really move with faith. They just go by how they feel and what they see, what they could prove.
A lot of them are simps. That's it, to be honest. Simps, They're following like the feminist movement of women. They're like, they live on emotional. They're like emotional, more emotional than real. This is women talk, bro. What the hell are you talking about? You're a man. You're supposed to understand more better things, And a lot of people here in the West, they got brainwashed a lot because during World War I, the feminist movement started proactively, because a lot of men went to war, World War I, near the United States. About near to 1 million guys went there, and then the factories were not roaring no more machines, no more guns, no more popping. So they had to bring women in behalf of them because a lot of guys were dying. Who's gonna refer the guns? You need them, and as stuff starts, feminist movement later on start progressing, because now women could work. Now they wear pants.
Any last few words?
No, that's it. Whatever I said, I hope it benefit. Whatever I was aired is from me and my weakness and shaitan. Whatever Allah said in the Quran is haqq, and we follow Muhammad sallallahu the best of our ability. You know what I mean? If you want to live in light, you have to come to Islam. That's about it. Islam will erase all racism. But if you accept it, reality full-heartedly, some people are to say I'm Muslim, this and that, but they're still racist. They're still nasty. They still behavior problems heavily. Okay, you have a beard to his chest, you praise 5 times a day. That's great. That's religiously, but your behavior is disgusting. If there's no good akhlaq, moral character, you can see a person's face. It doesn't take so long. It takes maybe like a minute or two just to detect somebody's face. He gets smiling, but maybe his heart is corrupted. But the smile sometimes comes from the heart. It shows by the facial, So Allah Allah guide us all.
Thank you so much, Ilir, for gracing again and accepting this invitation. Guys, again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and push this video. Mila, thank you. We're going to do this some other time.